folks. Welcome to Calvin's Guide Game. I'm Calvin.
I'm Lewis.
And today we are going to be doing our top 5 abstract strategy games. But before we do, I do ask that you please hit that subscribe button. When we hit 500, we'll be giving away a board game. Either a 2024 or 2025 board game, as long as it ain't too expensive, because it does come out of my pocket. And mailing it off is not cheap either, so it's really only those in the contiguous 48 states.
48. So
if you're subscribed, I appreciate it. We do have some new subscribers. We've gained some, so I hadn't looked who they were, but we've gained some. I think right now we need 73.
Hey!
So we need 73 more subscribers. Hit that 500, guys. Hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't hurt. I promise it won't electrocute you if you touch it. So hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell notification so you can get more information when we put out videos. Yeah. Which we've been trying to do twice a week, but last week I didn't get any out. Had some issues, some stuff going on, things at work and other things. So life gets in the way.
Yeah.
Life gets in the way. And I had some, it was Super Bowl weekend.
Super Bowl weekend.
So Super Bowl weekend, I just kind of told Lewis, hey man, enjoy your Super Bowl weekend. I'll enjoy mine, and we'll get together next Sunday. So, All right, here we are. We're going to make a couple videos. We are doing our top 5 abstract strategy games. Lewis, how'd you do your strategy list?
Basically, I went down the games I've played, or would like to play on these. Put it on the Meeple.
Pub Meeple.
Pub Meeple. I never can get that right.
It's Pub Meeple. Yeah.
Pub Meeple, and see where they ended up. And I was surprised where some of these ended up.
Interesting. And we're only doing our top 5. I'll do 5. Lewis will do 5. So actually getting 10, but we'll probably have a couple of crossovers. I'm guessing maybe one. I'm guessing one. At least one. I found out trying to do this list that I don't think I like abstract very much, because there's not very many I've actually played or I actually own. So I'm probably not a huge abstract strategy person. I'm more of a Ameritrash, whatever they call it, and also worker placement, stuff like that. So I don't get a lot of abstract strategies to the table much. But anyway, with all that being said, let's kick it off here, and I'll go first, Lewis.
Okay, go ahead.
My first one, my number 5, is a 2023 game. It's called Lucana. It's from CMYK. 2-player game, 10 to 15 minutes. In Lacuna, I can't say the name of it. In Lacuna, you have this area, this kind of a play mat, and it has like a circle, and you shake these shapes out onto the circle, and you have these little metal deals you're putting out that are your pawns. And if you put it in the middle of 2 of them in a straight line that you can get to, you take those 2 pieces. And each person will do that. I think you get 4 of those little markers, and you put those out. And then when it's done, you look at those markers and see who's closest to each that's left over. And so if you kind of strategize to where you can kind of keep your other opponent away from some of the others on your board, you can collect quite a few. And then it's whoever has the most of a certain shape or color, they'll win that color. And whoever has the most colors that they want or shapes, they win the game. It's pretty simple. It's not a hard game. It's okay. It's my number 5. I'd play it. I played it, at the game store with Christine. And I'd play it again. I probably won't ever buy it, but I'd play it again.
I know of the game. I played it once. And yes, it is that one for abstract. And I like abstract games. But that one threw me off a little bit because of how to collect the
pieces.
Yes, that I will have to play several times before we to make a choice.
I'm not a big fan of a game that has to have a ruler or something to kind of measure how far.
Okay, about that.
I don't like that. I just eyeball stuff. But in this one, you have to have a ruler to see who's closest. Sometime whether your pawn piece or the. But anyway, there it is.
Yeah, I forgot about that. My number 5.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine. I can't even say it.
Sometimes.
Number 5 is a 2019 game. It is called Shinoob, Or yeah, I think I said it right. Shanu.
I think so.
Publisher Smirk and Laughter Games. 2 players, 15 to 30 minutes to play. It is ranked under the abstract category, number 22. It is weighted at 1.88. Now, it is a game that is a strategy game. You have 4 boards. 2 are dark, 2 are light. You have 2 sets of pebbles. 1 are white, 1 are black. You are trying to push out your opponent off the board. And whoever push out the other opponent's pebbles off that board wins. Very simple, very cut and dry, but the strategy on that game is high. It is if you like chess, you need to pick this up because it is a chess level game. Yes, this is only a 1.88 level on the weighted on your mind, but it should be higher. It should be higher because the strategy on this game, if you're not looking at those 4 squares, because you have whatever movement you do on one square, you have to do it identically on the other square of yours.
On the dark side?
Yes, the dark
Whatever
side.
you do on the light, you have to do on dark?
Dark,
okay.
Yes. So you have to be, whatever movements you do, if you cannot do movement in one area, but you can do another area, you can't do it. The same movements have to be done in both squares on that. It's a very unique game, very fun, I believe, but very hard to master on that.
Yeah. Smirk and Dagger, Smirk and Laughter do quite a few games that I enjoy. So that's they have one of them that I really like. I can't remember the name of it right now. Maybe. Okay. Not a big deal, but I do like some of Smirk and Dagger's games for sure.
Yeah, they do make good thinking games, I believe.
All right, my next one, my number 4, is a 2000 game. It's called Blocus. It's by Mattel. 2 to 4 players, 20 minutes to play. In Blocus, I call it Blocus. You can call it whatever you like. You have Tetris-shaped pieces. The board is laid out there, and you have to lay your first piece in a certain spot. The next player has to lay their piece caddy corner from your. It can't be touching orthogonally. It has to be diagonally. So it can touch diagonal. It just can't touch orthogonal. And then when you place, you have to also place diagonal. You can't place orthogonal. And you're trying to cut the board off because the more the board you control, the more points you're going to score. So this is a fun little game. Each person has their own colors. There's red, blue, green, and yellow. And they're translucent looking. So it makes the board look really nice. And the board fits in there. They're indented. The board is, what do they call it? Yep. It's inlaid.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, there you go.
It's inlaid. So it's pretty cool. It's a fun, fast game. Takes about 20 minutes, like I said. My wife and I enjoy playing it. And I hadn't got it out in a while, so I think I might get it out. Going over this list, I was like, man, I hadn't played that in a while. And I actually do own this one. And I owned it because it was Tetris-y, and when my wife and I were younger, much younger, the old first Nintendo, put it in there, yeah. She loved Tetris very much, and so I thought she would enjoy this game, and she did. So Blocus is my number 4.
I don't think I have seen that one yet because it doesn't sound familiar to me.
I don't even know if I have this here or it's still out at my other place. So I'm gonna have to go find it.
My number 4. You have played this at least once with me.
I bet not.
It's called Dragon Castle.
Oh yeah, we played it.
Yes, it is a 2017 game. Publisher Horrible Guild. 1 to 4 players, 30 to 45 minutes to play, and 38 on the abstract list. And it's weighted about 2 points on there. If you like the shapes of Mahjong, the little tiles that look like Mahjong, has nothing to do with the way you play it. You'll have a setup, and there is different setups depending on the number of players you're going to play. But you have tiles in this center. On your turn, you will get a tile, and you're trying to put matches together. And the more matches you have, and when you connect all these shapes or color, you score points. Now, as you score points, you can stop at any time to put a little roof on one of these stacks. And as you put roofs on these stacks, they're going to be worth more points. There are some goals in this game on the side. They're community goals. So anybody can earn these goals, but it's depending how you place your pieces on your board. Because everybody has their own board. They take the tiles, put them together, score points. Someone that might be winning and don't put no little house roofs on their tiles and might end up losing, because if another person is just putting little roofs real quick, they might meet a requirement on the end goal of the game. So it is a game that is unpredictable until the very end. Even though you'll get points as you earn points, they're little markers. But to finding out who gets the final scores, that might be the turning factor on here, who wins. It's a cute little game. It's nicely made. Horrible Guild do make, to my opinion, make good games on the design side. Because I have a couple of them, and I like how they design their games. It's very interactive, I believe. Mm-hmm. But that is my number 4, Dragon Castle.
All right, my number 3. It's a 2005 game. It is Suro by Calliope Games. It's 2 to 8 players. Takes about 15 to 20 minutes to play. In this one, it's abstract strategy for sure. You're laying out tiles, and your little token is following the tile that you placed in a line that it follows. And if somebody else and you are close together and they place one, you have to follow the line that they also placed, and it could knock you off the board. And the object of the game is to be the last person standing. Mm-hmm. You are going to try to get everybody else to run themselves off the board or run into each other. And you just try not to run off the board. It's simple. It's fun. I think any age could learn to play this. I think it goes 6 and up for sure. Mm-hmm. As long as they know how to follow a line and place a tile, it's easy peasy. Now, player elimination may be a little more problem with younger people because they don't like to lose. But we all have to learn that in our life at some point.
Yeah.
So my kids learned at a very, very early age. I didn't let my kids win board games or stuff. I made them earn it, right? Because that's what you do. And they once they did beat me, it made them feel like they accomplished something.
Yes.
So it was more important for them when they won, and of course they gloated, but it was a good time had by all. I don't think any of them has beat me in ping pong at this point so far. But anyway, Suro is my number 4. It's an enjoyable game. It's a really cute, just tile placing game, moving your little piece around. And if you have a big crowd, it can play up to 8 players.
Yeah, I like that game. I've played it. Played it with my wife has a couple of friends. Actually, a couple, and they invited her and me over, mm-hmm. and we played with their kids. They got quite a few kids, and they do the martial arts with us. And I'm their instructor every now and then, and they look, all right, we're going to knock him out. I said, really? Have you played this before? Now, could I told the truth? Yes. But I said, no, just explain to me. And of course, I was not playing to win. I was just playing to show them who's actually
right.
the smarter one. And their father figure out what I was doing. They're going, oh gosh. And they go, no. But I like that game. I do like that game.
I only like the original one, the Phoenix one, and there's a water one.
Yeah.
And I just like the original one. It's fun. It's probably the better one to me.
I agree with you. The original one, it is the better one. My number 3, it is an old game. original publishing to be distributed out to the mass market was back in 1850.
Was you born in?
No way. And it is public domain, so there's no publisher basically.
All right.
One of the lengthiest games, 120 minutes to play.
Yep, not playing.
Okay. It is ranked number 38 on the list. Weighted, there's none because none of folks put weighted on it. Mm-hmm. It is called Mahjong.
Yeah.
Mahjong is an Asian-based game that has picked up popularity all over the world. It does play. You need to have 3 people to play. The Mahjong that folks play on their phone is nothing like this.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing at all. You are sitting against 3 other people. It's better with 4. And you have tiles. And you just picking a tile. If you see a match, you make the match. If you don't see a match, you got to put a tile out. You got to be careful what you put out. You might put out something that they need to make. In the end, what you're trying to make is a dragon. The dragon requires 2 specific tiles for their eyes, specific tiles for the body, specific tiles for their tail. And is designed to be, there are different kind of tiles, so it doesn't mean that, I have only the eyes. Other folks will have the eyes too. Mm-hmm. But it's a strategy game that, what are you going to play in? Because you have, I forgot the number of tiles that you start off with. But there's a community tile in the middle, all face down. And you don't know what's flipping up and what's going to be put out there. So when someone gets the whole dragon finished out, they still have to bring a tile. So if they get a tile and put it in, and they have the dragon, they still have to put that other tile out. Mm-hmm. You have to take one and put one down. And then after that, you flip it over. But if that tile is for someone else, they take it and flip it over, you didn't win. It's actually a tie. Which I thought as soon as you flip it down and have your dragon, you win.
Right.
No, there is now, I was told that
they have to finish the round.
Finish the round, which I did not know that. Which makes it a little bit more difficult on that. But yes, it is a niche game. Not many folks will sit there that long period to play this game. But it is, if you want a challenge of little challenge like you do chess, but you're a little bit more challenging, this is a game for you too. Mahjong, great game. I just wish there was more folks that are willing to play that.
Yeah, I know there's folks that have Mahjong groups out there, Mahjong, however you say it. There's groups out there in where we live, and they get together and play this. And I know they're very serious about it.
Oh, yeah, they are.
They're very serious about playing it. I've never played the game, never had really a want to, but, who knows, maybe one day, if I get a little older, may find one of them groups and get in and play. But anyway, yeah, that sounds not too bad. All right, my next one, my number 2, is from 2014. It's Patchwork by Lookout Games, 2-player game, 15 to 30 minutes to play. In Patchwork, you're building this, you're taking splotches of quilts and you're trying to make a quilt and you're trying to get as many buttons as you can because that's your currency in the game is buttons. And I have to admit, I played this game once and absolutely hated it. Absolutely hated it because I didn't get taught properly, Of course, I could have read the rules myself, but this person that I was playing it with said that they knew the rules. They were going to show me how to play it. And I'm like, okay, but they didn't explain everything. And so I wasn't getting the tiles with buttons, right? So I was broke. I couldn't buy anything, couldn't do nothing. Or I was only earning 1 or 2 buttons at a turn to be able to spend. So I played this game again. I said to myself, I'm going to give it one more shot. If everybody loves this game so much, there has to be something to it, so I'll give it another shot. And our friend Randall at Three Sons, he sat down, showed it to me, and he actually said to me, which was helpful, make sure you get buttons because that's your money. You're going to need money. I appreciate him for that. He could have kept that information hidden, and I'd have hated the game once again, right? But he didn't. He shared that information. So when you're teaching a game to someone, make sure you give them the little niche rules that you know, but they don't know how to play the game. Give them that information so they can play the best of their abilities, so you're not just mopping the floor with them and then they just can't stand the game after that or don't like it because it just wasn't that fun for them. So anyway, Patchwork is a cute little game. You're going in a rondelle circle picking tiles, and it's one of those, the further you go, the person behind you plays the catch-up mechanism, right? So if they only move one space and buy a tile, they can go again until they get in front of you. So it's not a bad game. It's kind of fun, actually. I was thinking about purchasing it myself. I think my wife would like it. She's not a big quilter or anything like that, but I think she would enjoy it because it has those Tetris-y pieces.
Yeah.
And it has that rondelle movement around the circle where you're picking tiles that you want. Hopefully you can get to them first before someone else does. But anyway, my number 2 is Patchwork.
You know what? I've seen gameplay. I know how it's played. Mm-hmm. But I've never played the game.
I know you said you'd want to play it a few times. Christina mentioned that you want to play it.
Yeah.
But
my number 2, which I thought it would be number 1 for me.
Okay.
My number 2 is called Element. A 2017 game. Radar Dashing Games is the publisher. 2 to 4 players. 30 to 60 minutes to play. It is ranked 117 on the abstract list count, and it's weighted 2.31. You basically are playing a mage, and your mage is moving around this board. And as you move around, you get to use elemental stones. Each elemental stones will be placed on the board a different way. Fire will be placed a certain way. Water, earth, and wind. Not the band group now.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yes.
Yeah, let's groove. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Man.
Each of these elements do a particular thing to try to corner your mage. Now, as you play, if you have 4 players, the max players, you're not worrying about what's happening with the mage in front of you. That's not your target. The mage that you have to capture or trap in a corner is the person to your, not right, to your left. Most of the time it's to your right, it's to your left. So you're worrying about the person to your left. That person is worrying about trying to capture the one their left, and that person to their left. So it's everyone's after for their own specific mage to try to capture. And when a mage cannot move diagonally or vertically, they're trapped, they lose. And now there's the rules are, and I had to be clear on this. I had to really do in depth on the rules. The game ends soon as a mage is captured.
Just one mage?
Just one mage. That's what I thought. But then I've looked into it. The full version, you keep going until all the mages are out except for one.
Yeah. That would make more sense if
yes.
you'd have a winner.
Yes.
Unless it's just one loser.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it didn't make sense until I looked into it. And yes, most times folks doesn't realize when a game is manufactured or designed for a region, the rule books might change a little bit from one area to another area, and they might leave something out. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's always nothing wrong to watch videos on how to play the game. Nothing wrong. I do that a lot. But it's also But also read the books, read the rule books, and look at everything. And if something feels strange, doesn't look right, research it. Research it. There might be a difference. And when it first was designed, designed in a certain language, and when it got translated, it got left out for some strange reason on that. So yes, element. Now I'm not going to go in detail what the stones do, I'll let you to find out about that. But yes, it's a fun paced game. You think you have it. I think Christina and I played it. Forgot with who, and she thought she was trapped, but she did one thing with the wind that got her out. That she actually won the game, even though she didn't put much stuff out to defend herself. But that's my number 2 element.
Yeah, and also, rule books get printed a lot of times and there's mistakes in them.
Yes.
I've had some games, and I'm looking through the rule book, and it says there's certain components supposed to be in there.
Yes.
Or a certain amount of components, and they're not there. They're shorted or they're over. And you're going, okay, I don't get it. So you have to look up errata. Some of them print out an updated sheet
Yes.
of why and what's going on. So you might want to look for that as well. All right. Number 1.
What?
Number 1. This is a good one. It's 2017. It's Azul. By Next Move Games, 2 to 4 players, 30 to 45 minutes to play. I just recently played this with my wife. The textile feel of the tiles are just fantastic. The reaching in the bag, setting them out in the
Board
gallery, whatever
gallery.
Yeah. Shops or whatever you want to call them. It is just so nice. It's pretty to look at. I did buy the mosaic expansion so I could have the little covers to go over it where the tiles don't slide everywhere, and I think that's important. They should have made those boards inlay, but they didn't. So that's something they'll probably print a 50th anniversary or 10-year anniversary of Azul and print them with inlays, hopefully. But anyway, Azul is a really nice game. You're just selecting tiles off these market tiles. What you don't take, you take all of one color. What you don't take goes into the middle, kind of like the street vendors.
Yeah.
And then once someone takes out of there, there's a -1 point that they have to take, the first person. And after that, anybody can take from the street vendors and get as much as they want, any of the colors they want, all the color they want of one color. It's just a fantastic game, but you have to be careful because if you get stuck taking a color you don't need or don't have room to put it, then they're going to fall to the floor and break, and they will cost you negative points. Yeah. So the game is fun, fast. It's a game you can play. It says 30 to 45 minutes. I think me and my wife at 2-player can play this about 25 minutes. It doesn't take long at all. As long as, she's knowing exactly what she needs to take. Me, I know what I'm taking. I'm studying two moves ahead, so I know what I'm taking if she doesn't take it. So Azul is a great game. That's why it's my number 1.
My number 1
is
Azul.
Yeah, I knew we'd have one crossover, but I figured it would be this one.
Yes. Everything he said, publisher, players, time, it is ranked number 2. Number 2 on BGG for abstract games, 83 overall of all the games. So it is ranked pretty high there in the top 100. Right. What else can I add? It's just a beautiful game.
It is.
It is a beautiful game. The designers did a great job on all the games, from the original all the way down. And with the new one, I have not played the new one. There's a new one out there called Azul Duel.
Oh, yeah.
And it's designed for 2 players only. And it's supposed to have different mechanics on this one. Mechanics that have not been seen yet. But don't know much about that. But yes, Azul, great game. Like the little tiles. My wife fell in love with it right away.
Oh, of course.
Actually,
it's pretty.
Yes, it's pretty. But the reason it is in my library is because when I decided to go back and getting board games in my collection, it was right after my wife met Calvin for the very first time.
Oh.
At a little convention.
Oh, yeah.
And the first game he put out to play was Azul. And my wife said, we got to get this game. And sure enough, the next day I went and got it. And that started my collecting board games again. And I haven't stopped yet.
I got somebody in the hobby again, right? Hey, it's always great to bring somebody else in the hobby.
Yes. But yes, I remember that so vividly. My wife does too. So thanks for Calvin. That's my board game collection started growing again.
It's a blessing or a curse. Either
It's a
way.
blessing. It's a
Because
blessing.
let me tell you, you can spend some money in this
Yes.
industry of board gaming. But having a collection, a big collection, is kind of tough because you can't play them all.
No.
And the hardest part is getting rid of one that you haven't played in a while because you have an attachment to it.
Yes.
There was a reason why you bought it.
Yes.
And it's hard to do. So my biggest thing is don't fall in love with your board games.
Oh, I'll tell you, Azul will always be there because it is what my wife said, go ahead and get it.
Well, I'm glad that I could teach her a game that she enjoyed for sure. That makes me happy that I was able to teach something to somebody and they liked it so much they wanted to go get it. That means either the game was that good or I was that good a teacher. And I'm guessing the game was that good.
Actually, she said you explained it very well
that's
and
wonderful.
Straightforward, and you was very patient with her.
That's something I've lost over time. I'm not very patient anymore because that's been many years ago. That's been quite a few years ago, actually. So, but yeah, guys, that's our top 5 abstract strategy list. What did we leave off? What do you guys love as abstract strategy? Like I said, I'm not a big fan of abstract strategy. This was kind of hard for me to put together. Lewis, I don't think, had a problem with it because I think he likes abstract strategy. To me, I need more than just. I don't like just going head to head with somebody. I like more people involved. But at the moment, I say that in saying that I am looking into getting more 2-player games. I just got the Caverna Cave versus Cave 2-player only game, and I'm looking into getting more just 2-player games. But anyway, with all that being said, you guys let us know what you think about the list. We sure would like to hear it. If you got any suggestions for Lewis on abstract strategy, because I probably won't look at, but I'll look at them, but probably won't put a lot of them in my collection. But if there's something really good, you guys let us know. I may seek it out and play it and let you know what I thought about it. That's all I got, Lewis. You got anything else?
No. Yes. A reminder: subscribe, like the video, give it a thumbs up.
Hey, and tell somebody about this channel. I've had 2 or 3 people comment on how much they have discovered our channel and like it. I appreciate that. We do this. We don't make any money doing this.
No, we don't.
We do this for fun. And we
For the
hope
love
that,
of it.
Yeah, and we hope that you guys see how much we enjoy board games and what joy it brings to us. And maybe it'll bring some joy to you and your family. All right. Well, that's all I got, I suppose. Since you told them to subscribe, I guess there's nothing for me to say other than get a board game to the table, spend time with your friends and your family, and thank you for watching Calvin's Guide Game.